My friends, we're right now here in the US, in Oklahoma, somewhere in Oklahoma, in the middle of the center, on a ranch. And I'm here with Dylan McWilliams. Thank you for taking some time.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
Actually, right now your lunch break.
Yeah.
So you started to work on this ranch here a while ago. And so what are you doing here right now?
So I've been working on ranches kind of off and on for quite many years, and just wanted to figure out a way to make some money so I can continue to do the ministry we've started. And lately we've just been moving cows on horseback, which is fun. But today we're building fence. So it's just day-to-day work, but it's amazing because the opportunities that we have, even with the people I work with, just to share, and and it's amazing to see how people are open, even here in Oklahoma.
Yeah. That's nice, exciting.
Yeah.
So do you like the work?
I do.
Yeah?
I do.
Great.
Yes.
So, but today we want to talk a little bit about your experiences that you had, how God saved your life, and it's kind of an amazing stories. So I know that quite a few years ago you had an encounter with a rattlesnake.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
So I've actually encountered lots of rattlesnakes, and I love reptiles. I love snakes, and I'd always try to catch them and be like Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, And one time we were hiking in it's called a canyon in Moab, and I was hiking out, and a snake just bit me right on my leg. I wasn't messing with it or anything, but it just bit me. It was actually a dry bite, and 60% of rattlesnake bites are dry bites.
Oh wow.
So I just praise God that I got a little sick, but that was it.
So let's say it would not have been a dry bite. What could have happened?
So we were like 4 miles in a canyon. We would have had to call a helicopter and search and rescue, and it could have been really bad. I could have gotten really sick and possibly even died from it because it was a smaller snake as well.
Yeah. So you had nothing with you, like charcoal or something that you could...
No, nothing. No, we had just got done doing some search and rescue training, so we didn't really have anything.
So did you think about like going back to the main road or something like this?
Yeah, that's what we were gonna do, but it was like 4 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just prayed and hoped that...
Yep, prayed and just kept moving.
Wow.
Waited for 20 minutes to see if I had any symptoms, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So.
But was it kind of, I mean, I never had that experience. Was it kind of painful even, just the bite?
No, not really. It was just I was worried.
Yeah.
This is a long hike out, and the more you exert yourself in a situation like that, the more the blood pumps through your body, which has the poison in it.
Yeah. How old have you been back then?
I was 17, I think.
17.
16
okay.
or 17, yeah.
Yeah. So after that happened, something else happened.
Yes.
Like a year later?
Yep, a year and a half later.
So you were somewhere in the mountains?
Yeah, I was actually teaching wilderness survival at a Adventist summer camp called Glacier View Ranch. And that night, there was a couple friends that wanted to sleep out by the campfire. We were going to catch some kids that were sneaking out. They weren't supposed to be, and about 4 a.m, I just remember like something like touching me, and it's almost like a dream, like I could like feel something touching like the back of my head and the back of my neck, and all of a sudden it's like a bag of chips just crunch, and that was the bear. It grabbed my head with its paws and pulled my head into its mouth, and then just bit down and started dragging me away.
Wow.
So I had a knife with me, and I just started fighting back as much as I could, and it dragged me about 15-20 feet and then dropped me, and then rolled me over and kind of stomped on me a little bit. And I just remember its face like coming down like next to mine, and just like I could smell I could feel the breath and smell it, and then the people that were with me kind of woke up and started yelling at it. This all happened in like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And they woke up and started yelling, and the bear just kind of meandered off. And
what kind of bear was that?
It was a black bear, a male black bear.
Oh, wow.
It was like 350 pounds.
So it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and you just heard that crushing sound.
I felt it. I felt it, but I heard it mainly.
Yeah.
You know.
So and then what kind of position did you had?
So I was actually laying on my stomach,
Yeah.
and it grabbed the back of my head and pulled me out. And I felt like a rag doll. Like there was nothing
Yeah.
I could do. Like it was just like, boom.
Wow.
And my grandpa, he always told me, if it's a black bear, you have to fight back.
Yeah.
And he drilled that into my head for all my childhood, you know. And that's like the instinct just kicked in, and I just fought back as hard as I could.
So you had a chance to grab your knife.
Yeah.
And then just.
Yeah. I don't
hit him a few times.
even remember grabbing the knife. I don't remember any of it. But they did find my knife over where it all happened, all covered in blood.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that I did that, but
Yeah.
I just remember fighting as hard as I could.
Wow. So did you try maybe also like kind of punching his eyes?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah. I just remember going for his eyes. When it was dragging me, I grabbed its fur, and because it was pulling on my neck pretty hard, so I grabbed its fur and just held on, and then with the other hand, I just started.
Yeah. So
like
did you
that.
feel any kind? I mean, in these situations, maybe you didn't feel any pain. I guess in
No,
the
I
beginning,
didn't.
right? It was just
No.
because.
In fact, once it drugged me away, and I sat up and I crawled back to everybody. All the blood ran into my eyes, and I couldn't see anything. And I just started like freaking out. I was like, I'm blind, I can't see. And because I remember feeling the back of my head, and I just felt all these puncture wounds.
Yeah.
And I think I asked the question. I was like, is there like goopy stuff coming out of my head? Like I just was out of it, you know? And they said no, and they washed the blood out of my eyes, and they have a picture of me right after that. And they're holding my head with a towel, and I have this huge smile on my face.
Wow.
Because I could see, you know?
So, and like, how deep did he went inside your skull, or do you have any still like?
Yeah, I have a lot of scars on the back. And then also, you might be able to see some scars on my face from the claws and stuff.
Wow.
But it had fractured the skull, so when it bit down, it didn't puncture, but it fractured, and it scraped. There was like tear marks across my scalp. So when it bit down, it like tore the skin, and but it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
You know, and.
So how did your friends react? I mean, you said they were yelling at him.
Yeah, yeah.
And did they try also kind of attack him, or?
No, it just walked off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe too obvious kind of question, but did you have any chance to pray or thinking about it?
I don't remember. You know, I believe like in that moment, like my mind was thinking like Lord help me. You know, but I didn't have time to say, dear Lord, thank you for this bear. I know you created the bear, you know? But they actually caught the bear the next night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in a live trap, and they let me go out and see it.
Oh, wow.
And as soon as I went out there and I smelt it, I was like, I could smell it anywhere.
Yeah.
Like I recognized it because it was so close to me, you know? Like,
How did that smell?
oh, it smelled horrible.
Yeah.
Like a big garbage can, you know? But it was good. It was pretty rough the first night, you know, because they didn't catch it the first night. You know, it was until the next day. But you know, it was scary, you know, because it's like I almost died, you know. And then I really started wondering, like, what does God want from me? You know, like this, I should have died. Even the game warden, he came and he said, "Man, you should have died."
Yeah.
Like, it's very rare we show up at a bear attack where somebody lives, you know, and especially in that situation where it grabs your head. You know, if I had been turned facing it, it would have grabbed the front of my face, you know, and the one puncture mark is really close to my spine.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this close, you know, so, I mean, I know God's hand was in it.
Definitely.
And I asked myself why, and I struggled with that for a while, like wondering what did God want for me to do. And I tried my own ways, different times. You know, I went and worked at a big ranch, and then I went and cut trees. I planted trees. I did all kinds of things for me, wondering how could I better live my life.
So you were like on a situation in your spiritual walk where it was not maybe firm as today?
Yes.
Okay.
My name's Dylan McWilliams. I'm from Grand Junction, Colorado. I'm 20 years old. Most people know me as the guy who was bit by a bear, a shark, and a rattlesnake.
surviving in Africa where there's lions and crocodiles and leopards. What am I thinking? Why am I doing this? It's mind-blowing. I'm coming, Africa! I would say like I was trying to better my life in a way that was benefiting me. Like I tried to stay in a good path, but I was still doing stuff for me. You know, and it really wasn't until I really put myself out there to say, no, something's missing. And that's when I really put my life into helping others. And that's when I really felt like, man, this is why God spared my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember a few months ago we went to the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And it was the first time for me to be really in the wilderness.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen a bear, but I slept like in a
hammock.
Hammock, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Thank you. And I, like in the middle of the night, I was like, I mean, I'm here in the open. You know, if a bear comes, he can just easily get me. But so.
I spent a lot of time in the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
Hiking, and I like the traditional, like old way. So I go with just like a bedroll and a cooking pot. And
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's amazing. I remember also once I was in Romania. I did some evangelistic meetings there, and we drove back from the place to a place where we stayed. Then in the middle of the night, our driver, he didn't speak any English. He just was yelling something in Romanian. He stopped the car. It was in a small village, and then he said something. So he wanted to get our attention. We looked outside. I was sitting in the back of the car, and then I saw this. I mean, this huge, whatever it was. And then it turned around its head, and I saw this huge grizzly bear.
Oh, wow.
I was like, wow, it was the first time.
In Romania?
In Romania.
Wow.
And they have often, I mean, they have more bears there walking around.
Yeah.
Sometimes people, of course, they feed them, which you shouldn't do. And but I was kind of surprised, because I didn't realize that still in Europe there's still bears. I didn't know about it, actually. So, but he just walked easily, you know, over the street and didn't pay attention to us.
Wow.
I
didn't
very
know there were
close.
bears in Europe
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I knew like in like Russia.
Yeah. I mean, we had, of course, more bears in the past, but they killed them, obviously, you know. But it didn't stop there.
No.
I mean, the chance already, we talk about numbers a little bit later, but the chance already that this is happening to somebody, you know, with a rattlesnake and with a bear is already, I mean, that's very small, that number.
The odds of that happening to one person is 893 quadrillion to 1.
Delighted that you're alive and well and still smiling. 1 in 893 quadrillion to 1. It's an extraordinary figure, that, Dylan. You must feel very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, that's a huge number. I can't even like wrap my mind around that.
But then something else happened. What happened to you?
The next year I decided I love Hawaii. I've been there many times, just backpacking. And I went for the first time I went for like 3 months by myself, and then the next a little bit longer. And then this last time I went for 2 weeks, and this was the time that it was like early in the morning. I was on this beach called Shipwreck Beach in Poipu, Kauai. And I was trying to learn how to surf. You know, I'd kind of picked it up a little bit, and I paddled out early in the morning. There were some other surfers out there. And I caught one wave and I rode it in, and as I was paddling back out, I hit something. And I was like, what was that? Like, it felt like coral or something that I hit really hard. And I just kept paddling out, and I just started like realizing, man, like something's not right. Like it stings, burns, and I started to see some blood in the water. I thought, oh, like, man, I really got hurt. You know, so I turn around and I start paddling back, and then that's when I realized it was a shark.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh man, like I have a long ways to paddle. So I just started paddling as fast as I could.
Yeah.
And when I got to shore, I was so happy. Like, you know, and I stood up and I was like, man, I still have my leg.
Wow.
You know, and later that day they actually saw, it was a decent size, it was like an 8-foot tiger shark that was out there.
So they saw the
Yeah, they saw the shark later.
Oh, wow.
So
it was, again, like by surprise, you could not really prepare yourself
no,
for it?
No, it just happened.
The odds of surviving a shark and a bear encounter within a year, astronomical.
And did people tell you before you went into the water that you need to be careful, or?
No, I'd been there for like a week, and I had been doing the same thing every day.
Yeah.
The ocean is like like the battlefield.
Yeah.
Like you have no clue where anything is
Yeah.
or what could happen at any moment, you know? And that's the thing with the ocean. Like there's sharks, but where are they? You know, nobody knows.
And do you think that, or did people tell you that he might have attacked you because he really was hungry or was just had a desire to attack?
Yeah, they said that the surfboard that I had was yellow,
Yeah.
and they recommended not being out with a yellow surfboard.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, well, I didn't know that.
Okay. So did you went back?
Yeah, I actually
Afterwards?
went back the next day.
Really?
And I wrapped my leg in saran wrap and duct tape, and I went back out.
Oh wow.
You know, because I thought, well, what if I never? You know,
Yeah.
you work on a ranch and you ride a horse, and you get bucked off the horse. If you don't get back on, you know, that horse wins. That horse beats you. You know, and I learned even after the bear, we went up to Wyoming like the next weekend, and I camped outside again by myself, and I didn't sleep that night at all. You know, it was very scary. But afterwards, I mean, even now, I've never had any dreams about any bears or anything. And same with anything else. You know, I just got back out there, and I wanted to overcome that. You know, because that's the devil saying, trying to discourage you from something.
Yeah.
And I believe that each of those were a stepping point, a little bit more, you know, until this last trip to Ukraine, you know, where we had to make the same choice.
Yeah.
Do I get back on the horse or do I run away?
Yeah. So this was how much time was in between the bear and the shark?
It was like 12 months or
12 months.
like 8 months maybe.
Yeah, and you said when this happened with the bear that you were more thinking about your walk with God. Did this like keep up that thought? Became it more intense?
No, it took me to, whoa, look at me. You know, like I've survived all this. You know, and then it started to get to people wanted to interview me. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen. I mean,
Yeah.
CNN interviewed you,
Yes.
Jim Kimmel, NBC, BBC,
yeah.
and all these major, huge broadcasting networks in the world.
And it kind of got to the point where it's like, I enjoyed it for a little bit, but then it got I was done. Didn't want to talk about it anymore, you know, and it just still wasn't fulfilled. Like I still started, people would recognize me, oh, you're that guy. It's like, I don't like that. Like it didn't feel like it was fulfilling, you know? And then that's when Gideon Rescue Company invited me to go on my first trip to North Carolina and then to Indonesia, and that changed my life. And I was like, this is what I want to do.
So this was a time when really your focus became more on God and serving
Yeah.
others,
Yeah.
as you already mentioned, and not like, you know, getting the attention of the world, you know, what
Yeah.
happened, and that it is exciting, you know, that they have like some exciting news to report about.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's nice that this shift actually happened.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, you mentioned just Gideon Rescue Company. So you worked since the last 6-7 years with them, right?
The first year I was there almost every one,
Yeah.
and then I kind of took a break off and on, and then this last 2 years, it's really like dedicated my life to it.
Yeah, yeah. So I had the privilege to be on one of your trips recently to the Ukraine.
It was our privilege,
Yeah.
really. So.
Praise God. Yeah, and of course, for people who haven't seen that series on the channel, please go ahead. I will put the description, or in the description again, the link to these video series where we have been to the Ukraine with Gideon Rescue Company. It was amazing. And I mean, I could kind of participate or observe or being very close to you when, again, your life was threatened. Would you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So every time we would go on a trip to Ukraine, like it was dangerous, you know, very dangerous. And there were several times where I thought, man, what are we doing? Like, should we make this decision? Should we not? Should we go forward? Should we turn around? You know, and each time it wasn't too hard to make the decision because yes, we need to go. You know, death didn't seem that close. You know, like we knew it was close, but we still feel like we were in control of our lives. You know, like we can make the decision to go or not go. You know, and it was good. And each mission was a little bit building our faith a little bit more. And I feel like God asked us something each time. You know, like, would you do this? Would you drive down this road? Yes, we would drive down this road. Well, here's what was on the road. And we're like, whoa, we wouldn't have driven down that road if we seen that. you know, and then the next time it's like, well, you have the opportunity to go in, but we don't know if you're going to come out. What do you think? Are you going to make the decision? We're like, yeah, we'll make the decision. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. You know, you made the decision to go, and that's all I needed this time.
And we must say, sorry to interrupt you, but we must say we wanted to reach people, right?
Yes.
I mean, you wanted to
Yes,
reach people
to
with
reach
the
people.
team. Yeah.
That was the goal.
Yeah.
To reach people. You know, what best opportunity would we have to reach someone? You know, and this last trip, I felt like that instead of allowing us to pass through the Jordan and then showing us what was in the Jordan, he showed us what was in the Jordan and then said, I need you to walk through it. You know, and it wasn't just something simple, you know, and we knew where we were at was very dangerous. We had seen a drone hit a vehicle a couple hours before. We knew we were close, but still not that close, you know. And then we were driving, and our friend Sasha, he said, I know a place I can take you. I'd like to take you. And we said, okay, let's go. And we went, and I remember as we were going, it all happened so fast, right? Like you were there. You know, we're driving, and it's like, where are we going? And then all of a sudden the car stops.
Yeah, we're kind of surprised, all of us.
And we're like, we've already driven by here multiple times. Is this where we're getting out? And he just kind of coasted in. And as we were pulling in, I texted my wife, and I said, please pray. We're going to a very dangerous place. And then I went to put my phone on airplane mode, and she texted back, and I didn't read it. I just put it on airplane mode, put it in my pocket. And then we get out of the vehicle, and immediately we hear a drone above us.
Keep moving. Let's get moving. Hey, Dylan, let's just move.
I remember looking up, and I saw the drone, and I stepped out, and I stepped over this fence, you know, and underneath this tree. And I just remember looking up at the drone and seeing the little blinking light and watching it kind of move around. And I just remember thinking, like, what are we doing? Like, this is crazy. And then the rest of the team started walking down the road, and all I could think about was, man, this drone's going to fly into all of them and explode. You know, and then I got thinking, man, this drone, it's going to fly, and it's going to drop a grenade, and it's going to frag everybody that's in there, you know. And then and I just remember sitting there looking up at it and listening to it buzz and thinking, man, this is crazy. And this all happened very fast, you know.
Yeah, it was seconds.
Yes, seconds. And it kind of, the rest of the team started to go, and I started to step out to follow them, and the drone turned back and kind of came towards me. And I just ran back up against this tree, between the tree and the fence, and it kind of went around the tree, kind of trying to follow me around. And I remember getting to this one spot in the tree, and I couldn't see it again, but I could hear it. I knew it was very close. It was this bzzz, it was getting louder, and I couldn't see it. And I just remember, like, my family flashed through my mind. You know, I just remember seeing my kids, and I remember thinking, like, man, what am I doing? You know, and then I leaned up against a tree, and I just remember looking up, looking for the drone, and I could hear it, and I just said, Jesus, help me. And all of a sudden, boom.
Oh, ich bin the wrong group.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Lord.
Dylan is alone.
Where'd Dylan go? Dylan, come. Dylan! Come.
And the concussion was so close, like it pushed me off the tree up against the fence. And it, like, my insides were like hurting, you know, like I couldn't catch my breath.
Yeah.
My eyes hurt, you know, like I couldn't hear anything for a few minutes, for a little, like I just remember like I was just confused a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the explosion was so loud. Even, I guess we were like maybe 60, 70, 80 feet, you know, away from you. And then also a few seconds before, when I turned on the camera, you hear it clearly. You know, the explosion for us, it was already like
it was
huge.
Very huge.
I mean, and then how close, do you know kind of how close it exploded
If I had
you?
to, at first I thought it was like from here to the wall, like
Yeah.
it was very close or closer, you know. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, man, like it should have killed me.
Yeah,
That close.
definitely.
Like there's no way, it couldn't have.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Shrapnel falling all on me.
You okay?
Yeah.
No, next to us. Yep. Yep. We will call you.
was watching it. I watched it explode.
Yep. Okay, we'll call you.
You right, man? Yeah. That was pretty scary right above me.
No.
Telling you. Like it was 30 feet above me. Yeah. And I'm just like standing there watching this. I'm like, is that? And boom.
You know, especially we found out later it was a satchel charge drone, which meant that it was a suicide drone, and it had 2 wires, and when they'll fly it into stuff and touch those 2 wires together, and it will explode. And those pilots are so good they can fly them into a moving car vehicle, the window down, they'll just fly it right in there and explode. And how could it not hit me standing next to a tree?
Yeah.
You know, and I really feel and I really believe that God took that drone and moved it over here and it exploded.
Yeah.
You know, because why would they waste it?
Yeah.
They wouldn't fly it over here and explode it. They would have come after us. You know, if not me, then you guys.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was thinking later, it would have been kind of, humanly speaking, easier for them to attack us because we were in the open.
Yes, and
And
that's
we're
what
3
I
of
was
us.
thinking.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
but then once that explosion happened and I kind of regained my awareness a little bit, I looked at myself and I wasn't bleeding. And I remember looking over my shoulder and seeing like where safety was.
Yeah.
And then I could hear more explosions, like we heard them all the time.
Yeah.
And I remember looking where you guys were all going, and you guys were like running down the road. And I'm thinking, what do I do? Do I run or do I go?
Yeah.
You know, and I just had a few seconds because then you guys were calling, come on, and I'm like, what do I do? Like, and I just remember thinking in my mind, what would Jesus do? What would he do? If he was right here, what would he do? And I decided to go, and I ran up and caught up with you guys, and you know, like we were standing there, and like my face, like I was in shock.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what are we doing? You know, and it was very sobering because we had a choice to make as a team. You know, we just came so close to death. Do we continue the mission or do we run away?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like God showed us what we were up against, and he wanted, and in a way, like I almost feel like maybe it was like a Job scenario where the devil's like, oh, let me scare them
Yeah.
so bad that they'll run away from this, and let's see how committed they are to this. And God's like, okay, but don't kill them. You can't kill them. And that was so close, like it felt like that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
You know, and
And you felt also the shrapnels coming over.
yeah, I
right?
felt when it exploded like dirt, and I don't know if it was dirt. It was something that was just falling on me. You know, it was very close. But we had to make a decision. Do we go or do we not?
Yeah.
And I just praise God every day that we decided to keep going.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, even if it was for one, you know, those few people that we met that were so hungry for it, for what we had.
Yeah.
You know, what we had was the hope in Jesus' second coming, the hope in the third angel's message. And it's not just a proclamation, it's a demonstration. You know, and how do we demonstrate that? You know, the no greater love hath no man than this, and to lay down his life for his friends.
Amen.
You know, and we are all friends. We have no enemies. Because if we can't have an enemy and still love them, you know, that's impossible.
Yeah.
We have to love our friends.
Yeah. I can imagine that you didn't feel like angry about the Russians or
Yeah. My only regret with all of it is I had a Russian great controversy in my bag, and I wish I had taken it out and held it to the drone. You know, you never know. You know, that's my only regret. But you know, like I think about it, and God put us there not only to reach people, but also to show us that we truly can trust His word.
Yeah.
You know, earlier the day before, we had told the guys, you know, call on the name of the Lord and He will answer. That was you had emphasized.
Yeah,
Right.
Max actually
Or Max.
was his specific
Max.
message. Yes.
You know, call on the name of the Lord in Jeremiah,
Yeah.
and He will answer. And for some reason that stuck in my head, and I said, man, like, you know, and then the next day we put it into practice.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, we can trust the name of the Lord, you know.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I remember yelling, like, Jesus, help me. You know.
I mean, of course, we were like kind of in the first few seconds, I didn't know what was happening to you.
Yeah.
But somehow I had kind of peace. I didn't
Yeah.
really feel like that, though I heard the explosion very clearly, still I had kind of peace. I was thinking, Dylan will be okay.
Yeah.
And then after, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds or so, or 20 seconds, we saw you coming.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it was amazing. You can clearly see how God really has his hand upon you.
Yeah.
And that he has a plan, you know, for you.
Yeah.
So
I truly believe that plan is to not only be a part, but to raise up more people to act in this third angel's message. You know, it's not just a proclamation. We have to act on it. We can't just tell people, we have to act. You know, and whatever it takes. My wife and I, we both decided that even though we're looking to buy a piece of land somewhere and build a little house, our goal is to keep the service of God supreme. You know, whatever he is calling us to do. And we truly believe that it is in this ministry with Gideon Rescue Company, you know, or pushing forward, you know, how can we be a blessing to others?
Yeah.
How can God's law be written in our heart and sealed in our mind? You know, that's the goal.
Yeah, yeah. And I really like what you said also about, it's not just reading the Bible, but it's really kind of testing, not in a presumptuous way, but just, you know, God is inviting us to see how good he is and that he can really protect or provide or whatever if we really give ourselves completely on the altar and allow him daily to lead out in our lives.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the armor of God, you know, the reason that David did not go out in Saul's armor was why? Because he had not tested it.
Yeah.
He even said that. You know, he went with armor that was unseen. You know, how do we don't have armor. You know, how do we test it as David did? Well, David said he fought the lion and the bear and God delivered them into his hand.
Yeah.
Well, he tested it and he knew that God was faithful. You know, we as Adventists, we have a message to carry to all the world in all circumstances. Not in safety, not in peace alone, but in all circumstances. Yeah. And God needs his people there. And we need Caleb's and Joshua's and Esther's and Gideon's, you know, that say, you know, and Jael's, you know, the story of Jael, where God called him and he went, you know, and they all of these people tested the armor of God, you know, and that's what God's calling for. Yeah. You know, there's a quote that I really love that Max actually shared, and it talks about how for the work to be finished and the latter rain to be poured out, we need to have the faith of Hebrews 11. Yeah. You know, and the faith of those men and women, you know, and that's what it takes to finish the work. We have to test the armor of God and we have to put it to use. You know, it's armor does no good sitting in the closet. You know, and we're in a battlefield today, like none other. Even sometimes, like when we were in Los Angeles, I was thinking, man, I'd almost prefer Ukraine over this. You know, because I know the danger. Here, it's all spiritual and supernatural, and it's very evil and scary, you know. And you see it in people's faces, and it's like, man.
Yeah. You know. I mean, praise God for the work of Gideon Rescue Company.
Yeah.
It's for his glory. And as you just mentioned, you just came back from LA. I can imagine that you had also great encounters. But people can also check out your Instagram, for example.
Yes.
I've seen you posted a lot of videos there from LA. And I can imagine, I mean, we could go on all day long.
Yes, absolutely.
But I know we will hear Dylan again and listen to his testimony, actually. You know, how he came to Christ, how he grew up, and all these things will be exciting as well. And I want to thank you so much, Dylan, for your time. I know it was you took time now in your break, your lunch break, and you need to go back to work. Yeah. But so I thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you.
God bless you.
Yes.
And we're happy that you came back alive. I can imagine your wife, your children, of course, were
very
happy.
Very
that you came back alive. Yeah. But we're looking forward for what God has in mind, also for the future, how we will work together. And so I'm kind of really excited about that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, praise God. Yeah.